in the full wet. Separates the men from the boys. Reputations can still be won and lost. And this is not looking encouraging. I bet it's because of Adotter's AI.
He's driving off the line for me.
What? He's driving off the line?
He's trying to keep driving.
Of course, there wouldn't be F1 22 without a little hiccup like this in online racing.
To go out.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Oh, this is going to be a restart, isn't it? It's going to be a restart. Oh, it's something you love to see, isn't it?
Yeah.
You get confirmation. So Sem did say to Otter to leave and rejoin, but if anything, Sem's lost his place as host. I think we're looking at a restart. Okay, no, Sem's joined. No, bad Otter. I'm assuming we're going. Revs are up in Brazil for the final time this season, and lights are out, and away we go slowly. But it looks like the Ferrari of Sora's got a great start between the top three. He's making a move on. There's a big contact between second and third. There's contact once again. Going into turn two, Mitzi takes the lead. A bit of a wobble out of the exit on turn two. There's contact again between Sora and Elite. Elite's lost a bit of ground, and Ham's going round the outside. A bit of contact already, and there's a bit of action going on in the background as well, but back at the front. And there's contact once again, and there's a spin. It's absolute carnage. And Sam's out. This is the summit, and the wet conditions are catching them all out. There's a yellow flag in sector 2 because of it all, and the gap already, the top two already have 2.5 seconds ahead. Absolute calamity, and the wet conditions already catching out the very best in this league, Corey.
Oh my goodness me. So, somebody just rejoined and took over from his AI before he crashed. And one thing I've noticed as well is the Jam and Ham brothers have swapped places. Jam from 17th to 5th.
I've got no graphics on the screen. I can't get them back on.
Why?
It doesn't work.
Oh, great. Just leave him rejoin the game.
Could leave him rejoin.
Just leave him rejoin the lobby.
You got the radio still on. SLR radio.
Jam's on the 5th of 17th at the end of the first lap, and Ham is now down to 17th.
Oh my word, what is going on with the graphics? But back at the front, Sora really is finding good speed, and he's already overtaken Mitzi. I reckon Mitzi let him through there. It is a marathon, not a sprint. Sorry, I was just saying. Yeah. The marathon, not a sprint. I'm amazed that it was Elite and Sora that are making so much contact in the first few corners. It's amazing to see it wasn't them two facing the wrong way, but I think it was. Oh, God. These conditions really are bringing the best and maybe at times bringing the worst out of these drivers for one last time this season. Action absolutely everywhere. And Drastic Blaze is a ghost. He isn't anymore. Yes, he is. Oh. Yeah. It's like on his screen that it's just dry and he's got dry tyres on. Even he's making it look so easy. Started all the way down in 17th, 18th, and he's third, and he's only just over 3.5 seconds away from the lead. It's absolutely unbelievable. And Sora's also got the same pace. This is unbelievable stuff we've seen early on in this race. Long way to go, though. yeah, quite possibly it could be a dry start Jam is on, because straight line speed it looked amazing, and Mckeon traction really just wanted to step out, and it looks like it's going to be very similar to the Sora move, unless Mckeon is going to put up a bit of a fight, and he does let it go. He recognises that Jam is way too quick and not worth the fight to lose a bit of time early on in this race, and Jam is already up into P2. Unbelievable stuff. Wow. Jam's catching up rapidly, 2.8 seconds. He's getting all the time in the tractions. I reckon he's gone smart with the wet setup. Surely he has. Unless we see a message at the end of the race saying, was it wet for you guys? He's pulled 1.5 seconds. He's pulled away from Mizzy. It's absolutely incredible. Yeah, you can tell that Elite's going to try to start, because that's twice he's done that now into turn 4. Just the car just didn't want to swap, didn't want to stop and didn't want to turn, as it looks like for Griffiths as well. It's just, yeah, you can already see which cars have got the low downforce and which cars have got the high downforce. The Elite risk really just wants to step out. It's, especially as a pad driver at work as well, it really is. It takes a lot of skill to keep these cars in a straight line under these conditions with the kit they're using. And that gap at the top has gone back up to 3.3 seconds between Sora and Jam. Have we got any more battles going on further down? Ham's recovery drive is in full swing. He's got 4 cars right in front of him, so within the next 4 or 5 laps he can find himself back up into 9th, and Jam is in. Okay. Oh. Yeah, that's the evidence right away that he has got the dry setup on, as he is fighting with Simba. He's not giving up that place easy. I think he might have to for the sake of his, well, keeping the car in a straight line. He's still not giving up, but I think he's going to now as Ham's recovery drive, as said earlier, is still well and truly on. He's fighting Riggs. He's got better traction. Is he going to go for moving the inside? No, he doesn't. He waits a bit. But going back to Jam pitting, normally it's the drivers a bit further down who make the first move, who are first to blink, because they've got a lot more to lose. But Jam up in 2nd place, doing it already, and he's making up places, and it looks like it is time for intermediates, because Jam is making up lots of time. And there's a yellow flag, but for who? Chris Kamara. Oh no. You want to know about Blaze? He's in turn 4 for me. He's in front of Midzy on my screen. What? Oh, wait, he's second on my screen now. What is going on? Blaze is 2nd place, and he's 3/10 off Sora. This is throwbacks to when I was on, like when I was using Hotspot in Season 5. And Jam is making up places. It is time for intermediates. I'm absolutely adamant. Tell you what, I mean, I know we're only 8 laps in, but from jam start so far, it's got to be up there as one of the best I've seen. Just form is temporary, but class is absolutely permanent. Of course, 2-time Formula 1 champion, 2-time SLRF1 champion. The numbers, the stats are there. That is probably the greatest driver we have ever had in SLR. And my word, he has shown it already this race. Touch wood, brilliant so far from SLR Jam. Lap times between Sora and Ham were identical. So I was looking at the wrong Noble brother. Apologies. Jam. Sora does put on. Yeah, everyone's going to start coming in now. So you've probably seen the progress Jam is making in 5th place, but it looks like it is still actually going to be Sora in the lead. So maybe it wasn't that dramatic of a difference between the tides, and that lap 9 is the right time to make that move. Oh, there's a lot of speeding in the pit lanes. Yeah, looks you should be able to rejoin back, as there has been Blazes leading on my screen. And a sight the Red Bull of Mitzi will not like to see is he has been overtaken by BRT Griffiths in the pits. Of course, there is a bit of a rivalry going on between the two, a friendly rivalry on track, which we love to see. They love going wheel to wheel, and they like to race hard against each other. But so your net top five is Sora, Jam, Griffiths, and Mitzi, and look who's in 5th place, Corey. Incredible for Mitzi. Before this game, he was the driver that kept on spinning on a game maybe it was a bit difficult to spin on. On a game that is very easy to spin on, he just knows how not to spin it. And he's been rewarded with championships, and at the moment, doing very well in 5th. But he's under pressure by elite risks. I don't think it's picking up anything you're saying. It's not. No, it's not picking. Oh, no, it's not picking up anything you're saying. So this. Oh, Coriel didn't take his box.
I did. Are we back? Can you hear me?
Hello.
Yeah, I think. Oh, yeah, no, we can hear you now. You just say, I did.
That's the fastest lap, 1:19.001. No, he started to pull the gap a bit more to Jam now, but I think whether Jam finishes 1st or 2nd here, I surely cannot be disappointed with a drive like this. I know we've got 25 laps to go, but this is still an unbelievable drive from the former champion.
I mean, it's got to be up there with, albeit more laps. I mean, Senna from 4th to 1st in the single lap in the wet conditions. Just seeing some of the lines Jam's been taking slow reminded me of his happened in 2016 with some of the moves he's been doing. It's just the confidence, whether it's because of the setup, but nevertheless, just the confidence he's got in the throttle is next level. and he's got a 7-second gap between. He's got a 7-second gap from Griffiths. Controller died. Controller died.
I was going to say, I thought I was lagging or something.
No, controller died. Anyway, yeah, that's what the Jam's got. They said gap to Griffiths.
Yeah, he's doing well. He's down at the moment. Saw a fastest lap after fastest lap for the Ferrari driver. I'm at 18.6 now. He went quicker by nearly 4/10 on that lap to his previous best. It's obviously getting a big tire out there. Toby crossed the line 19.5. Midzy is starting to close that gap a little bit though. The battle for the final podium position. Elite Risk is also closing to Journey Men's. It's a battle I'd like to see. Two of the second tier champions in SLR going wheel to wheel hopefully.
Oh, there's a bit of wheel-to-wheel battling between Sparks and Lewis. There was very close between the two. Fortunately, no contact, but Lewis has not given up on the place attempt just yet, but he might have to wait a little bit longer, maybe onto the home straight again. Yes, he will have to.
Yeah, Sparks holding on to that 11th place at the moment. A couple of points only given out to the top 10, just like real life. Sora, it's even more. He's only 3.5 tenths quicker than he is from the previous. He's not even using any ERS really. Sora is absolutely fine out in front. He's got all the confidence in the world under his right foot or right finger. I don't know if he's on pad or not. I can't remember. Surely going to post another fastest lap here. Crosses the line. It's a 1:18.2. It's been 4 tenths quicker again, and 2 tenths quicker than Jam on the previous lap. So the top two are absolutely flying out in front at the moment. Gaps are starting to open up a little bit more now, but the battle for 10th place between Sparks and Lewis. Apologies if I said 11th before. I think he's going to, you could say, spark up a little bit now.
Oh, he's doing it no,
he's not. Yeah, going to stay kicking in the wet conditions. I think that's going to allow Sparks to hold on to that 10th place maybe for a few corners more, but Lewis braking is looking a lot more confident than the Williams driver ahead of him. Sparks a little bit of a slide out of turn 3, and this is going to allow Lewis to get on the back of him. Can he get him though back towards turn 4?
Just the rear wanted to step out again, going around turn 4, and it lost him just the tiniest bit of time. It was enough to lose the momentum and the aid of helping from slipstream. So he might start to get a bit frustrated, but I do think they are gradually catching up on Swashy Cheese for 10th place. So that could be an interesting battle. I keep looking at the top, and it's less than a 10th between Blaze and Sora. I just want to keep on scrolling at the top, but oh no, it's sorted itself out now.
Yeah, it does it when he crosses the line, and then as soon as he gets to the last sector, it bugs out again. But nevertheless, it's Sora is leading, just to confirm anyone getting confused.
So the track is ever improving, Corey, and the rain is beginning to ease up. So when do you reckon we might start to see people thinking about going onto the slick tyres?
Well, it's going to be an odd one because, again, we've seen this game where it can get dry very quickly or it takes absolutely forever to dry. It's a bit RNG at times. But, of course, we saw Jam roll the dice going on the intermediate very early and it seemed to have paid off. He's extended the gap behind him, hasn't really closed the gap ahead of him to Sora. Are we going to maybe see Jam roll the dice again to go into the dry tyres? But again, it's going to be a lot more costly this time for the Mercedes driver. Lose more time. One thing I noticed as well is Jam has really underfueled that Mercedes. He's nearly a lap down on fuel at the moment, so he needs to start saving a bit more fuel.
There's probably a few drivers out there who anticipated to do safety cars because of the conditions, but it has not been the case, and Lewis is really right behind Sparks now. Is he going to spark his race into life a bit more and make a move? No, he doesn't. Sorry about that. And he's lost a bit of time now because he was thinking about the move. And the more these two are beginning to squabble, the more they gradually and slowly catch up on Squashy Cheese in the Alpine. And then you've got a separate race above Squashy Cheese. You've got men's elites in Burnham in their own train, keeping themselves company, but nobody in a position, it seems, to make a move just yet.
About P5 is starting to close up a bit now. We did see a bit of action between men's and elite risks earlier on. But Elite has started to back off now and is really struggling behind the Ferrari. And SLRF1 is having a pretty decent race. He's now close to an Elite race. Is he going to maybe step on to the inside of the turtle? We've seen these two put together earlier this season. Hopefully it doesn't happen again. He nearly did there. Simba with the inside of turn 5. He might have the outside at 6, but no. He's going to pull back into the slipstream now. Elite's going to hold on. Elite is really, really struggling out there. And Simba really needs to think about getting past you because he's going to lose a lot of time waiting behind the Alpine.
Yeah, he was in the inside, but just driving on the curb. It gave his car a little bit of a wheel spin and again lost momentum as Elite really is struggling. He's been struggling all race, in fact, with the traction. He's doing well just keep it in a straight line and in 7th place. It's just the lead of my timings are just going absolutely mental again. But yeah, Simba will begin to get a bit frustrated. He had the chance there, but the curb just cost him a little bit. As the gap at the top is 6.5 seconds now, and I think this is the closest battle we have got on track. Men's has actually pulled away a bit from risks.
Yeah, but of course, Elite's mistakes coming into the equation as well. Hammer's now joined this battle as well, so his recovery, as you said, well and truly on for SLRF1. He's had a huge snap as well through the centre race. You can see him fighting that Williams. Gets a huge snap of Rose. Saw Alonso have a huge moment here in 2012. Miraculously, somehow caught it. Wouldn't see anything like that later on. But Elite still really struggling out there in that Alpine. With Simba still within about half a second. And if you're Simba, you need to start maybe getting the elbows out a little bit because he's just going to keep losing time behind Elite race.
Yeah, he's making a few mistakes there. He risks that he's under threat by Ham, so he was the attacker. Now he is under threat from the one-time SLR Div 1 champ and one-time SLRF2 champ. He was looking in front, now he's going to be looking behind. Ham is going to be licking his lips as he goes around the outside. Is he going to go for it? No, he isn't. That would have been certainly some move which would have just strained a few eyebrow muscles. But he's not going to give up just yet. He's using the and just when I see drivers put left wheel on the curb there, it just makes me want to just butt clinch moments. But he's in no position to make a move into turn 1. Nope. So at the moment, Simba has got the place. He just needs to regain his focus, close the gap up to Elite again, and attack on Storm.
Yeah, of course, the mistake from Simba has now really made him drop off, as you said, from Elite race. Now nearly a second is the gap now. Still under threat from SLR. Top 3 really, a clear Sora 7.7 seconds ahead of SLR Jam, who's another 7.9 seconds ahead of BRT Griffiths, and Griffiths about 4.5 seconds-ish. 4 seconds ahead of B Midzik. Oh, somehow a huge snap out of turn 6. Somehow has caught it. Simba, they made that mistake last lap. Has gone and got himself a 3-second time penalty for his woes.
Meanwhile, we did see an overtake just now. We saw Merckx make the move on Molly into turn 1. Nice clean move there from Merckx. Molly getting known that he is separated by drivers who, no disrespect to him, are a lot quicker than him. He's just going to be enjoying being wheel to wheel with some of the really fast guys in this division. It's back over to the Ham. 3 attempts behind, and now carrying penalty McLaren driver. And Simba looks like he has got the straight line speed on the Williams driver, so Ham's going to do this on the brakes or under traction when really right up behind the McLaren driver if he wants to get a move done.
Using, of course, no DRS in these wet conditions to assist any of the drivers out there, but especially Ham at the moment. But I think the close battle on track actually is going to be Lewis and Sparks. This is the final championship position, which gives out points. Semmer's left the lobby as he DNF'd earlier on in the first lap after that carnage we saw at turn 4. Lewis is all over the back of that Williams, having a little snap at the exit 3, and because of that, I don't think he's been able to attack Sparks into turn 4.
Now he wanted a bit of the inside of the Williams, but by tightening the steering a bit, the rear wants to step out like it again. Oh, he's actually hit the wall this time. And did he get any damage from X? Looking at his steering, yeah, that's damage, and that is going to be his race over unless he gets a handy safety car.
Yeah, I've been seeing him play with the curb on the exit there majority of this race, and he's finally bit back. And it's seen Lewis going to the barrier, not out of the race, but out of maybe a chance fighting for the points, as he's got no front wing, and as you said, he's going to need a safety car to get himself back in this race. As the track, you can visually see he's trying slightly. You've seen the lap times improve as well gradually. You keep seeing Sora pop up with the occasional purple lap at the top of your screens. But Simba's now dropped out of a second to Elite Risk, who's starting to pick up his pace a little bit now. You can see he's now got back within half a second of JD Menz. It's about for 5th place on the track. See if Elite can snatch that 5th place back. He started on the front row of the grid at Elite Risk and has really struggled in these wet conditions.
I think if you listen to Menz before the race, after 19 laps, he'd be within 2 seconds of mid-seat. He would have taken your hand off.
Yeah.
Really good showing with Menz. He's shown he'll be absolutely fine next season in Mckeon. He'd be fine.
Oh, yeah, he'll fit in perfectly next season for sure. We'll still have some new names coming in next season, without doubt. Sora again with the fastest lap, 15.5 now. The race leader is led near enough every single lap of this race. Now 10.5 seconds between him and SLR Jam. But Elite Risk is now really starting to close in on JD Menz. You might even think about going for a move into turn 1. Both of them are rinsing their ERSs, but Elite with slipstream as well, and the extra speed of that Alpine is going to make you think about going around the outside and have the inside line for turn 2. There's been contact between the two. Menz is going to hold on to the position, but Elite is going to have another chance to fight it down to turn 4. He's had a really poor exit because of that contact, and I think Menz is going to hold on to that 5th place now.
Yeah, no, that was just Elite turning a bit too early there. He was trying to go around the outside, and I think he misanticipated how much grip there actually was, and yeah, it kind of ruined the move as Ham is still putting the pressure on the McLaren side for Simba to separate.
Did your controller die again? I think my controller died again or something. Meanwhile, we have got a move down in the back. It's Adrian versus Murray at turn 4. As Adrian has got the move done, as Matt's changed batteries, and Murray's gone off the road. The 2 Division 2 drivers scrapping it out. Maybe for 14th place, but they're still putting on a very good show for us in the comms box and for you at home. And it is Adrian that comes out on top in that Division 2 battle. Griffiths comes in. Is this going to be for the dries?
It's still raining. It's not the only, In fact, there's quite a few drivers putting in, so unless they're putting on more, and the McLaren is going to slow down in time, he does. It's still raining though.
Now, Griffiths did this on Thursday. They've got other mediums. Griffiths did this on Thursday, but with the opposite. It started to rain, and he didn't pay off for him there either. So this is going to be another gamble, but of course, he's not the only driver to do it this time. Simba, JD Menz, and Big Mitzi have all came in to maybe try and get themselves a lifeline back into a fight for a podium place in this race, and we might see the rest of the drivers start to come in. The rain you can see on the halo is still coming down ever so lightly, but it's still pretty well. Look at the track, it does look pretty dry even though it's still raining. So I wonder if we're going to see race leader Sora come in. We're going to keep an eye on him. He's just set a purple middle sector. Is he going to come in? No, he stays out on the lap. What about, well, it's not P2 man Drastic Blaze, but we'll see if he comes in as well. Sora sets the fastest lap. Blaze stays out. What about Jam though? He hasn't really got much to lose in P2. He's got a good gap behind him. Jam is coming in. So Jam must again rolling the dice like he did for the intermediates. Going to go to the end of the race. You can see everyone near enough is coming for the intermediate tyres. So it's definitely dry there.
Why? I don't think. I mean, I'm tracking Griffiths' gap to Ham, and it's not really changed. If I'm honest, this lap, you might start to see a bit of difference from this lap and onwards, but I think the drivers who pit a bit early, it's going to make no difference whatsoever. It might just mean the only difference will be that they've got the tyres warmer than the others, not to temperature. The battle has got a 3-second time penalty for traffic speeding. Griffiths did actually set the fastest sector 3 time, which is mini just straight, so maybe the traction is already an improvement. Go on.
Menz and Simba DRS is now unable, so that definitely proves it's dry enough. Simba has got ahead of Menz now. This is for P6 at the moment. So Ham has, I believe Ham has jumped both of them. So Ham is now up into second. It's going to be 5th now for Ham. He's done a real recovery drive. He's SLR Ham. And past Elite Risk after Elite having a really, really tough race today. As race leader Sora is into the pit lane. Yeah, Elite having a tough race. Still on, holding on to 5th at the moment. As Ham is up to 4th after the time was updated after Justin Blaze.
Whoever speaks to Elite after the race, just don't mention turn 4. because that is one corner he's not going to be sad to see the back of. However, he's right on the back of Ham now. He's in a good position here now where DRS will be in use. So now we should see a lot more overtaking as Griffiths has put in the fastest lap of 1:11.5 as expected. First lap on this slick tires. Elite Risk in the LP. Goes around the outside of Ham and the move's done even before you get to the braking zone. And that is the lead back into P4, Ham into P5, and now coming under threat from McLaren or Simba 1. And Griffiths has done the move and jam.
So yeah, I don't know what's happened to Jam. Maybe he's made an error or something, or staying out longer. As maybe putting down the order a bit. But yeah, Griffiths is now up into second place. As Mitzi's managed to win past Menz, and Menz in these dry conditions is really strong out there. So maybe he has got a wet setup on.
Well, possibly, yes. Maybe we should see the likes of Elite and Mitzi move up to places now. But Menz has got a bit of it. He's got a 9.5 second gap to Squashy G, so he can still relax a bit. Can Menz, because P9 or P8 regardless in your first Mckeon race is a brilliant job no matter what. As Lewis hits the fastest lap of 1:11.2.
It is. Sora been leading the majority of this race. Now 12-second gap to Griffiths now. Who's got back ahead of Jam, who we believe is on a wet setup. But nevertheless, Sora's been great out in front. Do you mind taking over for a minute to actually get drinks? My throat is dying.
Yeah, so we've got a few drivers people watch him. Great to see. The last race this season, as Ham right behind Elite. It's a bit too fast to make the move into turn 1. Going into the next DRS phase might give Ham an opportunity to sabre up a bit third for attack later on in the race. Same as Simba in 6th place, but unfortunately is carrying a 3-second time penalty. Whilst, and having said that as well, Classic Blaze's time is still going mental on my screen. So I don't actually know what position he is in. I did say earlier that Men's had a 9.5 second gap to Squashy Cheese. That's already come down by 1.5 seconds in one lap. So that is the indication right there that Men's might have a wet setup on, or whether just the skill difference is coming out on show now in this division, because he's already 2.5 seconds back on the Red Bull of Midzy. There's a new fastest lap of Griffiths, 1:10.0. He's got those tyres right up to temperature, and because of it, he's got almost a 4-second gap to Gian. He just made the move not long ago. 5th place, Simba on Ham in the inside. Has he got the move done? He does. That's a great overtake from the McLaren driver. But is Ham going to fight back? Going round, turn 3. McLaren is using his tires and his DRS because of Elite, and he has got the position back, but nevertheless that will not be the end of this battle for 5th place. The more they battle, the more it helps out Elite Risk in 4th place.
Yeah. Well, Simba with that penalty now, as we saw him pick up earlier on, it's going to make him drop down the order even more. At the moment, it's going to knock him down to 7th place in the order. And I believe he's running a wet setup as well. I might be wrong. Of course, we can't see the driver setup, so I think Merckx has just managed to go past Drastic Blade. That's about the 13th place now. 2 out of towers are sticking together. Ricky picks up a penalty as soon as I say that. But yeah, I think Ham might maybe get a chance there.
That was weird. Just more busy. He broke in. He just lost the rear on the braking. The rear's locked. I didn't think that was a big problem in this game. Yeah, but in front of Mitzi, Ham and Simba. Don't get the move done into turn 1. Simba does outbrake a bit, which will hurt his exit. Here we go, going round turn 3. Are we going to see another move? Is Ham going to go for it, or is he going to sabre up his Urzies? Looks like he's going to settle by staying behind just for now, and that will be the case. How many more laps will we give it? 10 laps to go.
Yep. And to go, as you said, and at the moment, still Sora who leads by 11 seconds, but Mckeon division standards, that is absolutely domination as Elite Race now picks up a time penalty for track limits, and Ham won't be able to believe his eyes at the moment. He was down and out in last place, Sebastian Vettel start from 2012, and could be finding himself finishing in 4th place. I think he's going to be joining his brother and Timo Sora for the drive of the day votes for sure at the end of this race. But of course, they still need to get to the end of this race first, so I think we're going to stick on board with Ham here because he's still well within DRS to maybe think about going for attack on SLRF1 just to get him back into the top 5. Can SLR have the experienced man get this move done? He's going to close in a lot heading into turn 1. He isn't going to think about going from that far back. He's going to get another dose of DRS, heading down to turn 4. We saw Hamilton Verstappen in 2021 do this quite a few times. Slight concept between the two, but I don't think we'll see any here. Maybe just a little bit too far behind. Think about going for a move, he doesn't go for it. But I think we have got the battle though for the final championship position in P10, Matt.
We do indeed. Battles everywhere you look. A lot of these drivers have actually won out theirs, so I can only imagine they've done this since it's actually turned dry, trying to make the undercut work. So this is going to be down to DRS and sharp braking, making the moves, and Menz is continuing to be closed up by the likes of Scotchy Cheese, Medal and Sparks. That gap now 6.2 seconds. If I'm correct, Scotchy Cheese will be at the back of Menz by within about 6 laps. But nevertheless, still fantastic performance by the Ferrari driver. But it looks like the skills from the other drivers in this division are catching up on him now. Let's go up towards the grid again. We're going to be looking at Ham once again. He is, you just looking at his errs, he's doing a bit more coasting, so as predicted he is going to save up a bit of errs for attack a bit later on. I'd be supposed to see an attempt of a move here, I reckon about 2, 3, 4 laps of saving up, because it doesn't look like Mitty's going to be making any moves just yet. But however, having said that, Mitty is looking good with his energy recovery.
Speaking of, well, this isn't looking good. I think the team that is going to be in big trouble here because they've started with quite a lot less fuel. Ham currently 0.3 of a lap down. I know why Jam's been going slow now. He's now got 0.8 of a lap down on fuel, so I don't think either of them are going to make the end of the race here.
Well, Ham was lucky just to stay out the walls there. He lost the rear and he had to do brilliant reactions, so his race could have ended a lot more sooner. As Simmons had a poor exit, this could be a great opportunity here for Ham, Corey.
Yep, here comes Ham, then great run out the final corner compared to the McLeod driver. He's going to have the DRS, he's going to have the slipstream, he's going to have non-existent battery. Well, both the drivers now pulls to the right hand side, he's going to get the outside line. Heading into turn 1, is he going to make it well? He breaks later than the McLeod driver, but he looks like he's locked up a bit. Mitty's now going to get involved in this battle, he's going to steer up the pieces maybe. But Ham with the DRS as they head towards turn 4 now. Can he get it done? He's got his brother under attack from Elite Wrist ahead of him. And Elite's made it work. Ham's really struggling. But Mitty, he's going to get past both of them down the inside goes Mitty. And he's made a double move. He's waited for his time. He's used the extra battery he's got. And Mitty is in 5th place now. He could well be within a battle for a podium position again.
That was absolutely brilliant for the Red Bull driver. It just goes to show that was all experience and just a mind of a champion right there. He knew something was going to happen up ahead. He had the errs with him because of his great driving and his energy recovery. And he starts to do that in these conditions. Yeah, it looked like it was just an easy overtake down the straight, but you don't know what the guys are doing in front. You don't know. It's unpredictable with their movements. Absolutely brilliant from the champion. And he's already pulled almost a second gap to Simba. So his next target now is to be Jam, and a podium is well and truly on for the champ.
Yeah, I think this is going to be one to keep an eye on for the remainder of the 7 laps to go in this race. Now, Jam, as I said, is going to really struggle all the way to the end of this race. I think someone has gone off. That is Sparks who's gone off just out of the final corner. He's now dropped down to P12. He was fighting Medal for the final points position. Yeah, Mitty's going to be right on the back of Jam here, coming into the following corners, because Jam is going to really have to lift and coast to the end of this race. He's still got he's 0.9 under fuel now, so there's no way Jam is going to make it to the end of this race with 7 laps to go. So what has been an unreal drive for the Mercedes driver is going to be ruined because of the fuel strategy.
Yeah, it's just, he chose a fuel setting. He anticipated a few safety cars. Luck favours the brave, but it doesn't always, unfortunately. And it's like Jam will end up losing out. But it looks like he should secure a top 7, which, considering where he started at the start of Grand Prix, I mean, it's still a fantastic achievement in a division like the Mckeon division. Well, the top 2 look like they've secured their spots. It's all going to be down to 3rd place. Mitty is continuing to catch up on Jam.
Yep, of course, Elite Risk at 3-second time penalty for track limits is going to be key coming the end of this race. Jam, of course, we've just said about his fuel issues. Mitzi is looking on fire at the moment. He's the former Mckeon Division champion. He's got DRS on Jam. Is Jam going to fight this head down into turn 4? You can see the extra speed of the Red Bull. Jam's already has a lift and coast because of the lack of fuel. Mitzi's up to 4th place. But of course, with that 3-second penalty from elite race, he's going to get himself back on the podium. It's been, again, a great recovery from Mitzi after losing quite a few positions at stops.
Yeah, it's brilliant from the Red Bull driver. I think there was a little indicator there that Jam maybe made it a bit easy for Mitzi, maybe returning the favour. As Mitzi went past, he gave him a little weave like Jam did earlier in the race. I think lap 2 or 3 when he made the move from Mitzi, so maybe a bit of teamwork going on there between the two, but they are effectively in 2 different races, even though there's only 6 laps to go, and a 4th place. It's been a brilliant race from the Red Bull driver, considering the setbacks he had at the start of the race.
Yeah, he recovered from it well. We saw it in his championship winning season. We saw it in the season that he lost the championship in the final round to the race roll in season 7. Came back like a champion, dominated the season, and this came back again, which hasn't really suited him. He's admitted, and I think a lot of the pad drivers will say that they haven't really enjoyed this game.
Yes.
Yeah, I know you were about to say that. But nevertheless, Mitzi has overturned all these troubles and managed to pick up a couple of victories this season, and looking on for a victory. But what was an unlikely podium, I think you'd agree with me, about 10 laps to go.
Yeah, maybe Mitzi saw it coming 10 laps to go, but we certainly didn't. We didn't know what was going on with inside the cockpit. We didn't know what setup he's on. When it wasn't going right, he managed to keep calm, managed to keep it in a straight line, and he's been repaid now. And that gap is maybe slowly coming down. But all you need to do is stay within 3 seconds of the lead, and that podium it is. As Simba is going to make the move with Jam here. Jam is sitting dark. He more or less left Simba up to 5th place. Up next to overtake Jam is his brother Ham, who is actually in the same boat in terms of the fuel.
Yep, Jam in the worst position though. He's currently got. He's losing more fuel. He's nearly a lap down now. It's Jam, so I think he's maybe given up the ghost now. As you can see, he's letting his brother go, and of course, not going to be fighting that too hard. He knows he's going to be out of fuel come the end of this race, and he dropped to 7th place already. As you said, he'd finished that, but unfortunately for Jam, all the good work he put in early in the race is going to be undone come the end.
Yeah, are you looking on their steering wheel in terms of
Yeah, if you look at the top right, it says -0.9.
it would be nice. Look, just my age coming into it, as you like to say.
Yeah. Respect savers. Anyway, Mitzi's still within 3 seconds of elite. It's now 2.2. Again, Mitzi's going to be playing it smart. Just knows he needs to stick within the 3 seconds of elite race. Got the end of this race. He's got himself another podium to his tally. Quite a few podiums he's picked up in SLR in his long time that he's been here. But I think nothing is going to stop the top 2 at the moment, unless maybe a big spin or a crash from the top 2. Hopefully I'm just jinxed them. But Sora, I think, can't think of any word better than domination out in front. He's been superb as Sora, led near enough every single lap, and with 2 laps to go now, he's going to pick up the victory.
Yeah, he's been in a league in his own, which is, oh, hello, see, yellow flag, no, that's just little pockets. No more safety cars this season, hooray. Yeah, Sora dominating this race, which, I mean, dominating, you rarely hear that in a Mckeon race, but 11 seconds, in fact, he's over 20 seconds ahead of 3rd. 25 seconds in the podiums, brilliant drive. I mean, I must admit.
Yeah, I think I'll give you that one.
Yeah, I mean, everyone in the stream chat, by all means, throw in your votes for Driver of the Day. Be interesting to see what you guys come up with as well. But I must admit, it's hard to think anyone will put different apart from Sora.
Excuse me. I'm going to keep an eye on Jam because I expect to see that Mercedes run out of fuel maybe in a few corners' time. Unfortunately for him, you can see the fuel light flashing already. As his brother is about 0.1, so he will make the end of the race. Jam is going to be out of field come the end of this lap now, but Medal, he's closed right to the back of Squashy Cheeses. This is about for P9, didn't even see it coming. And turn for the McLaren with the outside line. Can he make it work? Oh, he's onto the curve as the Alpine, but Medal all the way around the outside at turn 4. He's up in the 9th place. He hasn't had the most impressive race. He's had a tough stint in the wet, but he's recovered well. He's going to pick up some points in the process. Sora now is going to start the final lap of this race, Matt.
Yeah. Yeah, great move on Medal and Sora. He's actually pulled another 3 seconds on Griffiths, so unless that means Griffiths is saving up for a fastest lap attempt. It did get worse for Elite Risk. Unfortunately, he picked up another 3-second penalty, so Mitty really has got all the time in the world now. He can just cruise it for the end, and he has got podium on the final race of the season. But Sora, yeah, he's, like we said earlier, league of his own, deserves the win. What a way to end the season, and it'd be interesting to see what he's got in the locker when the new game comes out. Will he be up there? It could shake up the order. Will he be at the top?
And here's a heartbreaking scene of the Mercedes of Jam running out of fuel going down turn 3. He had an excellent first stint in this race, making his way up to second place in the opening lap after starting 17th place. It's all going to come undone, but one man's race isn't going to come undone. He's going to be TMS Sora. He's landing the final corner of Junkstown now to complete probably one of the most dominant tries I've ever seen in this division I've been here. And now he's going to cross the line to win here in Sao Paulo, to win again in the Mckeon division and pick up the fastest lap point as well. BRT Griffiths as well in no man's land in P2. He's going to pick up another podium after what was a tough one by his standards. Elite Risk will pick up the final podium position on track, but of course with those penalties, he's going to drop down to P4 or maybe even P5. But B Midzy, keeping it clean with a great recovery in the dry stint, is going to pick up the final podium position. Single top positions. Ham finished his P9. He got that Williams to the end. Some good points for him. A good recovery after being last in the first couple of corners. Jenny Menz on his Mckeon division debut this season will cross the line P7. I think he'll be pretty happy with that as well, Matt.
Absolutely. I mean, my job of the day, Sora, but Menz is going to be up there. 7th place finish. He was anticipating maybe he's going to be struggling at the back, but brilliant qualifying and an even better race. Like we said earlier, he's going to be absolutely fine next season as JD Menz. Absolutely fine.
Indeed he is, as the rest of the drive cross the line now. Modi will come home 15th. Drastic Blaze, we've seen glitch everywhere. Will finish 16th. Apparently he was leading the race at one stage, but yeah, he would be the last driver to wasn't last. But yeah, I think I pretty much enjoyed that. Being back on comms, Matt. What about you? Sure Liam did.
Oh no, it was brilliant. It was brilliant. I mean, apart from the first lap, we saw lots of great racing out there.
Yeah, we did. We've got one driver, we've got 2 drivers in the lobby already. We're just waiting for Mitzi. I'll send him another invite. He's on Do Not Disturb, so I'll give him a ping on Discord. Yeah, we've got the top 2 in the party. Make sure to tick your box if you haven't already. Yeah, you can see Ferrari pit crew down in the pit lane. Congratulating driver Tim Exora. And we'll get an interview with the top 3 very shortly. We're just waiting for Midzy.
Just on a stream chat, we've had a few comments in. Echo Sora was as lonely out in front as I was. I presume he's relating back to his Division 3 race, where we might see him in a different division next season. Wink, wink, whoops. And Cohen's put a message out there. Absolute filth from Midzy tonight. Double OT, top comms lads. Try our best.
Yeah, we'll go through the classification once more then. It's Team Sora who picks up a dominant victory ahead of the RT Griffiths at P2. Mitzi clawed his way back through the field after losing ground in the final pit stops to get 3rd place. Elite Risk in P4. Ham was able to bring his Williams home in P5. Simba 6th place. JD Menz in his first Mckeon race this season in P7. Medal in P8. Squashy Cheese in P9. And Riggs was able to pick up the final point for Avatari. Merce 11th. Adrian 12th. Jammer had the excellent opening stint, ran out of fuel on the last lap. He finished 13th. Sparks 15th. Modi 15th on his debut. Same with Justin Blaze in 16th. Oscar in 17th. Lewis F1 18th. And Sam was the only DNF of the race. So should we get underway with the interviews, Matt? Make sure to see boxes as well.
Absolutely, yeah. Take a breath, Corey. Take a breath. You've done well. You've done well there. Classifications. How do you want to do this?
Do you want to do like first and second? I'll do like third, I guess, or no?
I can do third and first if you want. Or...
Yeah, I'm not fussed about either way.
Alright, in that case, we'll start off with champion from many seasons ago, and he reminded us once more again why he is. B Midsea, third place. Congratulations on the podium, Midsea. Starting in pole position, finishing third about 25 seconds off first. In my opinion, I think you should be absolutely chuffed for that, because it looked like you were on a dry setup and just keeping it in a straight line for the first half of the race was a monster achievement. Talk us through your race and the plan, and what setup were you on?
I was on a dry setup, but I thought, to be honest, judging by other tracks, that wasn't a bad idea. But clearly, I've missed something because Sora's pace was just ridiculous. I can't believe how quick he was. I mean, I was struggling in the first few laps. I think that's just purely because I kept my pressures low. And I think that shows because I was just all over the place. And then pitted sprinters, I thought it'd be alright, and obviously I got damage on the way out. My pace still wasn't bad on the inters with the damage. I thought it wasn't too bad considering people had around me. So then I had to change the wing. And yeah, got a drive pace was good, but again, like the Sora is just ridiculous how he was. I was looking at the fastest laps and he was still getting them. He got it at the end just to rub it in. So I was like, okay. But yeah, I'm obviously happy to get third after. And then he got pens, and that overtake as well. That's probably the easiest double overtake I've had on Hammond since they made it pretty easy. But that was still nice anyway.
I was going to say, from our booth, it was absolutely brilliant. Just you all through the race, you had to stay up the earth for a late attack on the two, should the opportunity arise. And you say it might have looked easy, but you didn't know what the drivers were going to do in front. Just a little bit of movement, just put a lot of trust into them, and you pulled it off. It was an easy overtake at the time, but coming up to it, I mean, what were the thoughts going in your mind? Were you like, right, this is it, I'm going to go for it now? What was going in your head seconds before it?
Yeah, I thought I had to go for it because Ham was obviously, he must have been fuel saving because he stayed behind Sigma leading up to it, and like when he could have easily got past, I was like, oh, he's up to something then. And I felt like I had pretty good straight line speed as well. When I went to go past Ham, Simba moved across. I was like, oh no, I'm going to get boxed in. So I was going to try and go to the right, but it just kind of like went back to the middle. So I was kind of confused. So I just carried on down the inside. That was it really.
That's why I think it was a brilliant overtake. I think you should absolutely trust for third place considering. So congratulations, Matt, once again. You reminded us all why you're the champion you are, as we go to Corey for the runners-up of the race.
Cheers.
Firstly, before I answer the question, was my qualifying crash put on stream? Good. So obviously, we're racing tonight after not racing in this league since France. I was just hoping to see what my pace was like with no line. It's a track I feel quite confident at running no assists, but I wanted to see it against the grid, obviously like this. So overall, to finish how I have, I'm really happy with that. I feel, especially in the dry, that's probably the quickest person on track. But like Mincy's already said, like Sora was just a god in the wet and in the inters. Like to pull that much of a gap is just ridiculous. So obviously congratulations to Sora. Like GD to Mincy and stuff as well. Yeah, I quite a lonely race. After the second half, really got past Jam, and then. I wanted to see if I could close my way towards Sora, but I just didn't have anywhere near the pace for it. But I'm happy with that P2, I'll take it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Sora, I mean, first of all, congratulations on the win. it's extremely rare we see dominance in the Mckeon race, but today that is exactly what we saw. I don't know where to start, to be honest, and I'm sure Griffiths and Midsey would like to know themselves. Where on earth did that speed come from?
Well, first of all, I downloaded Xbox grip hacks and all that. That's about it. No, I'm kidding. No, you can't cheat on Xbox. Don't worry about that. No, well, I don't really know, to be honest. I wasn't overly challenged. My drag pace wasn't very good. The wet pace I put a shift in. I did a wet race for GRL a couple of weeks back, and my wet pace was really good, and I knew I had it for wet, but I knew my dry pace wasn't very good, which you could see when Griffiths was catching me at some points. Saved me ERS up that last lap, about 40%, I think. Just went for it. I didn't do any practice or anything, and I know I had more of me for the dry, but I take it. I bottled my quali as well. I did a 7.2 invalid, and I'm pissed off with that. Yeah, it is what it is.
When you think after the win, you would have forgotten about qualifying, but fair enough.
I want to be perfect at everything I can try and do, and one little thing would piss me off. It would piss me off for the rest of the night.
Yep, no, that's fair enough. Going into next season, so you finished this season absolutely brilliantly. What's your thoughts going into next season? We could see a shake-up. I don't know if you've had a chance to play the beta or not. Some people have been fortunate to. Are you going to still be remaining in SLR next season? And if so, title by chance?
No, just do the best I can. That's all I do each race, and usually the best is me spinning into a wall.
Fair enough.
Yeah. No, I'll just go my all.
As we'd like to think everyone does in this community. Lovely stuff. Congratulations on P1 Sora. I don't know if Corey wants to add to that before hopefully we actually see a donut session going on, which is 36 laps long.
No, I was just going to say again, congratulations. So obviously, big way to end your season. I believe you picked up a pole position as well early in the season, if I remember rightly. Or was that wrong?
That sounds familiar somewhere.
Was it Canada?
Oh yes, Canada, and then I died in turn 1. I didn't get the kink of the straight on that. I got rear-ended.
Yeah, and he also won in Spain.
That was the one.
Post penalties.
Yeah, that was the one.
Yes.
I'd rather not talk about that.
But yeah, again, big congratulations to the top 3. We'll be seeing donuts, I'm sure, very shortly. 36 lap donuts, I'm sure, qualifying apparently. But yeah, I guess it's kind of what we got from, I guess, season 9's all done and dusted. Then we'll be back a few months' time for the F1 23 game for season 10. Hopefully the sugar stay on for the donuts. Matt, have you got anything to add before we get in for the donuts?
I'm glad that that's the last race in this game now. It's been an absolute trash game. It's been unenjoyable for F1. Thankfully, F2 has prevailed, which I've enjoyed every second of it. But now back to reality for the next game, where F1 will rise once again, and SLR will be back right at the very top with full divisions, full races, plenty of carnage, and hopefully comms every week.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, crap game.
Good chat.
Yeah. Liam, thoughts?
Yes.
Good night.
Liam.
Cheers, Liam.
That was inspirational.
Yeah. Great. Brilliant.